Greetings one, greetings all. Kind of jacked today. Had an early day at work. Means I can get out here in the shop sooner. And it's one of my favorite places in the world to be. So, with that being said, I'll give you a little update on stuff. Yesterday I worked on the... Oh, there they are. I worked on the drive sprockets for the track. I got quite a bit done. I was able to get all the old sprockets off the cogs, off of the shafts. Shafts were rusted, the covers were rusted, the bolts were rusted. I struggled with it. I made a video about it and kind of showing the process, but during that video I got rather frustrated. And I said a few words I probably shouldn't have, so therefore I am not going to post that video. But anyway, long story short, I managed to get both the drive axles basically rebuilt, except the rear one had the original, well, both of them actually did, had the original bolts that hold everything together. Here, let me grab one. Original stuff, okay? On this particular unit, I was able to reutilize the original stuff, and I'm okay with it. It's happy. I'm happy. Everything looks good. The rear, this is the front. These are the drive cogs. They're plastic. The rear, on the other hand, I wasn't so fortunate. The bolts that hold this assembly together had flathead screws in them, and when I would put the wrench on the other side to try to crack the lock nuts loose, I'd strip out the flathead screw. So I ended up having to grind them all off. You can see that. As a result, means I need new bolts. So I went to my home center and I bought a bunch of grade 8. I don't need them that beefy, but I'm a detail guy, so I can envision what this machine's going to look like when it's done. I want it to look cool. I want it to look pretty. So I bought grade 8 bolts because they're gold. And the wheels are going to be silver. That being said, it's just a detail thing, basically. So, got a bunch of those. I got some more paint and some more primer, and I got some black silicone for some things down the line on this that I know I'm going to use it for. And then this morning I went to go get bearings for those shafts, because in order to pull those wheels off, I had to pull the bearings. And in the process of pulling the bearings using a puller, because they're pressed on, I damaged the bearings. So I had to get bearings. And while I was at the place, I couldn't find bearings at any home center or any auto parts store or anything like that. So while I had to go to a special place, Motion Industries, and get bearings. While I was there, I ended up ordering a drive sprocket that's going to go on the secondary shaft for the chain case, to hook the motor up to the chain case. So the mission today, and yes, I choose to accept it, is to rebuild all the bogey wheel assemblies. And once again, I got these stupid, they're ancient, so I got these stupid flathead screws on here that I'm going to have to deal with. And I'm probably going to end up having to grind all these off as well. So I'm not looking forward to that. But at least I'm home, I'm in the shop, doing what I love to do. So that's the mission today, is to get this drive line all figured out. And then I had another problem that I thought about today when I was driving around. The track I bought is a track out of a newer Arctic Cat snowmobile. And my concern was that the drive, I think I covered this in another video, that the drive cogs meshed with the openings in the track so that the track pulls. Well, one thing I saw last night is the original openings on the original track fit the teeth on the sprocket perfectly. There's no side-to-side play. Well, here's the original track laying on the floor. It's now a rubber floor mat. So the gear, fits in there. Well, that was stupid. It fits in there perfect, all right? On the new track, look how big the openings are. So here's the problem. I put the gear in here, like this, and look at the side-to-side play. There's like, it can move a 1/4 inch left or right, all right? So that being said, that means the track in the tunnel can shift left or right a 1/4 inch. I only have a half, the tunnel is 15.5 inches wide. The track is 15 inches wide. That means there's a 1/4 inch play on either side, which means realistically, in a turn, or when I'm turning on a flat surface and I'm twisting, the track could slide left or right on the teeth of those sprockets and rub against the tunnel. I don't like that. So I actually, by buying this track, have created a lot of work for myself. What I have to do now is I have to go into each one of these openings on the inside. And you see how there's a metal clip here? Can you see this? And the sprocket, tooth of the sprocket fits in here, and this distance here is too big. I now have to fabricate a metal piece that will go across between each one of these things on the track that narrows it up, narrows that distance so that the tooth on my gear will lay in there perfectly with no lateral movement left to right. Oh my God, that's gonna suck. Plan is to take some flat stock or bar stock actually. What do I got here? That I can show you as an example. Not this thick, mind you, it's quarter, this is a 1/4 inch. Two pieces like this. And actually, now that I think about it, I can't do that either. I don't think I can. If I do that, my track won't bend. All right, so here's what I'm gonna have to do. This is gonna suck even more. So here is an opening on the track, right? I'm gonna literally have to cut pieces that are the distance from here to here, inset them into this space, and TIG weld them to these metal clips. And I'm going to have one over here and one over here to narrow this width. Because if I do like I was going to do and weld them on the back, I don't think the track will bend. So they actually have to be welded in between this space, because this portion of the track doesn't really do much bending. The thing will probably sound like a Sherman tank clatter, clatter, clatter as it's going across the lake. But that's what I'm gonna have to do. I got no choice. I gotta narrow that up, or that track will go sideways and rub on my tunnel. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll bet there's 150 openings that I gotta narrow up. Wow. Yeah, I don't think I'll have this done by the end of winter. Seeing as spring appears to be here, damn it. I have never wanted, toward the end of winter, for there to be more snow. And this year, I want another 2 feet. And it's 45 degrees out, and everything's going to hell. So, ugh. I actually plan on using this machine in the summer. Okay? One of my hobbies, which you guys will see on here, is hunting for wild mushrooms. I love them. Tasty, right? Plus, there's always the gamble that you eat the wrong one, and you might go to the hereafter. No. But anyway, that's one of my hobbies. And in the past, what I've done is I've gone all the way 2 hours north, grabbed my four-wheeler from my place up north, haul it home, because I mushroom hunt around here, and then use that out in the woods to mushroom hunt. Well, I actually plan on using the Klondiker. Since I have a bogey wheel system for a suspension for the track, I don't need, like a modern sled, to have snow to lubricate the stuff in the track. So I can drive this in the dirt. I can drive it in the mud, do whatever. So I'm going to actually use this out in the woods in the spring to haul a little trailer. I'm going to make a little trailer behind it that I sit in and go mushroom hunting. Cool, right? So year-round use. That's another reason I jumped into this project like I did. It's not a seasonal use. Timmy is only going to use his in the winter, and primarily for ice fishing. When I looked at this project, I was like, I saw several different uses. I saw ice fishing. I saw trail riding in the wintertime, if I just want to go for a moonlight cruise or something. And I saw summer use for mushroom hunting and skidding logs out of the woods and stuff like that. So, it's going to be my machine. I mean, I have a snowmobile. I'm going to sell it, get it running and sell it, and I will never own another one again. And this will be the machine. So with that being said, I'm going to get cracking here and start tearing into these bogey wheels and start fixing stuff here. So stay tuned.